If there is one thing that I have learned about life, is that nostalgia is powerful, and it blinds what you are currently experiencing in the present. Because when you look back in the past, you think of the good times. You think about everything that it made you feel, the music, the experiences that you went through with your friends or just by yourself, chilling in your own space, in your own time. And what I've realized that in recent years, gaming in general, and in this specific video, FIFA, which is a game that I've played throughout my entire life since FIFA 03, for 2 decades now. I am 25 years old. It doesn't feel the same anymore. It feels different, and it has for quite a long time now. When I load up FIFA and I look at it, I just feel this emptiness, this numbness to this game, and I hate that feeling because I don't want to feel this way about something that I've had such a connection to for my entire life. I tried to take a step back and tried to think about it. I've took a break from FIFA for about 6 months now, and it's gave me time to really look back on what did I really connect with a game that has been missing, that's made me feel so empty to it. And I think I found the reason why. FIFA now feels like a job. When you used to play the game back in, I don't know when you played it, FIFA 13, 16, or 7, you played the game because you wanted to play the game. You wanted to play FIFA, bro. You wanted to play it just by yourself in your room, playing career mode, or building your own ultimate team, or just playing against your friend on kickoff. You just wanted to play FIFA for the sake of it. Now it feels like a 9 to 5. Now it feels like you've got to do all these objectives and keep up with the meta, log on at the same time every game to look up the new SBCs, and it feels like a job. FIFA has gone from play to have fun to play to win. Problem with FIFA now is this implementation of SBCs and limited time events. It feels like you are forced to play the game, or else you will lose the cool stuff that nobody will be able to get after a set time. So you are not playing it because you want to get it, you're playing it because you feel like you're going to miss out on something that could be cool in the future. You're putting your time into something that you aren't guaranteed. Like a lot of you who are watching this video, I've been playing FIFA for a large chunk of my life, and I can't look at FIFA in the same way that I did. And I think nostalgia and my experiences of my past has completely blinded and almost destroyed my expectation to have when I play the game. And when I don't receive that feedback, that feeling of memories, I feel like I'm missing something, and I feel disconnected to the franchise. We have this feeling with games in general. For other games you may have a certain connection to, of that part of your life where everything felt perfect and you were just happy, you were free, you had no pressure, you had no bills, no coursework or whatever you're doing. People look back on maybe in recent times, early 2018 Fortnite, that was powerful to people, especially the younger generation now. They look back on Fortnite back in 2018 when it first popped up and think that is the time to be alive, which for me, not too much, because I was about 19 at that time period and I didn't really play games all too much then. But if I was 13, 14, 15, oh god, that would have been like the hardcore drugs. That'd be mental. Other games that I have a very strong connection to is, I think like you as well, probably Minecraft. Minecraft is a game which I think has connected and touched many people at many different age groups, and I played it when I was very young as well, on the Xbox 360 days, and I was in just random worlds with my friends that I played Modern Warfare 2 with, and we just played for hours. And in that same sentence, I also mentioned Modern Warfare 2, my days playing Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, that young part of my life that I look back on with fondness, and we compare what we expect and what we think the game should be to now. It just feels like a massive void. When you play FIFA now, what do you think? What do you feel? Because when I look at FIFA now, I feel nothing. And when I look at this, I look at myself and I think, am I the problem? And if I was young now playing FIFA, would I think that this was the peak time? Would I look back on this FIFA 23, and FIFA 20 and think, this was amazing, look at all these rewards, look at these amazing SBCs. And maybe I need to take some self-reflection of myself, that maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe you are too. If you feel the same as me, maybe you feel the same that I do, and maybe you've grown up. And maybe that's just the sad reality that We aren't kids anymore. It's like when you're growing up and, you know, I went to my local field and I met my friends and we played football all day, like all day, every day. If you're from the UK, then you would know what I mean when I say you'd be playing Wally, you'd be doing heads and volleys, heads and V's, you'd be doing buzz off and manhunt, cuppies, Wembley, all these types of games, and you never actually noticed that would be the last time you played that until you look back on it a couple of months or even years later and you think that was the last time that you were free, that you had no responsibilities. And now I do. Now I'm a father, now I'm a husband, and maybe it is me that's a problem, and maybe I've got to come to that conclusion as well. For me, FIFA is and was something else. The feelings and the memories that it gives and has given are unique to myself, and nothing will match the way that you felt at that time of your life. Maybe it matches a certain period of your life. If it's high school, if it's primary school, if it's when you move to a new area, you attach these memories of a certain part of your life with your own personal experiences with your actual personal life. And what are these memories that I have of FIFA? And maybe you're just waiting for me to say it because maybe you're trying to reconcile with it yourself. But when I think about it, I think of the music, I think of the menus, I think of all the banging songs that I think about when I think of FIFA, and I could name them all on a list right now. I mean, Christ almighty, you've got the likes of Love Me Again, On Top of the World, Surprise Yourself, Colours, Call It What You Want, Come Alive, Love Natural, No Problem, Song 2, Helicopter, Shine a Light, The Nights, Escape, Hit It, Panda, Just For You, Jerk It Out, 16 Years, and oh my lord, how can I forget about Punching in a Dream, and our best song of all, We Come Running. And then there's the gameplay part of it. I mean, I played predominantly FUT, but I still played a lot of career mode. I remember back in FIFA 12 doing a Accrington Stanley career mode for no reason whatsoever, and I got Aki all the way to the Premier League and got them into Europe as well, and I felt like that was such a massive accomplishment and a my player career mode back in FIFA 13. And I took my guy from Santos because I was copying AA9 skills of his my player career mode, and I took them all the way from Santos to Benfica, and I ended up at Swansea, I think, and then I ended up playing for Manchester United, and I thought that was amazing. And in FUT, there's all the different varieties of players that I remember so fondly. I mean, Jesus Christ, from FIFA 14 alone, there's so many players that just gives me great memories, from a Barbo to a Aubameyang to a Mandzukic, Malapa, Zlatan, and then there's all the other FIFAs. There's the Brazilvers, and then there's El Shaarawy from back in FIFA 12, that insane silver card, Marlos and Michael Liete, Michel Bastos. FIFA 13, you got S-Line and the amazing 3-5-2 Premier League teams, or even hybrids, because you've got an amazing centre-back with David Luiz, Eder, and Felipe Santana at the back with Ramirez as your DM with Luis Gustavo, and it's remarkable. FIFA 15 got also an amazing variety of players as well. Doumbia and Barbo and Javino, that insane Roma trio, Mikoli, Emenike, Wellington, even Daniel Sturridge back in FIFA 15 had a nutty card. So many players that I just named, and that's just on the top of my head from my memories of playing this game and going through the menus and just the music of it, looking at my squad, and it's just a normal goal team, but that's all you need. You don't need all these insane stupid cards that you get nowadays with these 5,000 promos every 2 weeks with this Team 1 and Team 2 and bonuses and objectives and SBCs. It's too much. It's too much. The promos that we have now is too much. It's sucking the life of the game, and it's making these special cards feel normal. They feel normalized. Back in FIFA 14, FIFA 15, if you had a legend card, and you would be at the top of the game, you would be lauded as a god of the game, because this was meant to be a special card that only certain type of people can have by trading away all the way up, or you may say pay to win. But the best part is, even if you had these legend cards, it didn't guarantee that you would be any better, because you got such a massive skill gap that you could have a normal gold team, a normal 10k BPL team, and still compete and still do well, and that's all you need. And that was the best part, that yes, you can have all these fancy cards, these team of the years, these team of the seasons, but it didn't really matter. You could still have gold cards for the entire game and still compete, and you can still have fun with a variety of different types of cards from hybrids from many different leagues, and you still compete. treated, and you still felt like you were on the same playing field. But now what is it? I mean, I can't even name you all the different types of promos now. I think they're making them up by the day now. I swear they're just throwing a dart on a dartboard and okay, this is the new promo now, because it feels like it makes no sense. Feels like you've got to have a 9-to-5 job to even keep up with the amount of objectives and SBCs and promos and everything that's going on with FIFA now. And you may say, whoa, Liam, but isn't that what we want? We want FIFA to have all these new things. Would you want them to have no content? Would you want to have nothing? And I say, content is good, but in moderation, because if you have content every day, it takes very limited time for that to get boring and repetitive. So then you got to keep making new things to make the content that you get each day more unique and more interesting. And we've been in a cycle now for 4 years that we've got so much content that they've got to keep making new content in more crazier ways to keep people entertained. And now we've gone so far beyond trying to keep people entertained for 4 years now, that they are now making more insane things, insane packs, insane objectives, insane players, that they literally cannot keep making up random things on the spot to try to keep people who thinks that this is what they actually need. People play the game for a menu and they don't play the game to actually play the game. Do you know how crazy that is? And as someone who played FIFA in my own opinions, the golden era, the golden years, I have no connection to what it is now. And if you are someone that is in that world and you are still grinding the game and the objectives and the SBCs, nothing that I would say will change your mind, because you are in that world, you're in it, you're in the cycle. So you probably won't see it or understand it, but trust me, if you take a step outside for a couple of weeks and you look at the scene as a whole, you will feel the same way as me, that less is more. Quality over quantity, because then when you do get that big promo, that big event, that big pack, then it actually feels like an accomplishment, because now all it feels like is that you could pack a Messi or Ronaldo and it feels like, okay, great fodder for a SBC. You could pack some insane players and you barely even flinch. I packed a FIFA 13 in form QPR goalkeeper in Julio Cesar and I went mad. I think it was worth like 58k, 60k, and I went mad because it was in form, bro. In form, in a pack. You what? That's mental. I put £20 of my birthday money when I was like 12 into that game and I got something and I was like, get in. And that leads on to the gambling part of it that I've already spoken about in so many videos. If you want to see my big documentary on it, which I did about 3 months ago, then feel free and check that out. But that is a entirely different conversation of how the game is still promoting gambling to children, and it is. And if you don't think that they are, then I think that you are completely lost, my friend. That is why FIFA feels different. The combination of my own nostalgia of what I expect FIFA to be, combined with my own disappointment of how different the game is now in terms of how the game is ran, that for me is why I can't relate with it anymore. That sense of community with FIFA, I think we've got lost with that in recent years, and it's a shame. It doesn't feel fun. It feels like a job. I was experiencing my life through FIFA. Every part of my life I can relate to, and it may sound crazy, but trust me, I am this sad. I think of it like FIFA 14. I think of it like, you know, my life back in FIFA 14 era. In 2014, FIFA 14, I was in year 11, and that's how I think of it. I was experiencing my life through each FIFA. 14, I graduated from high school. I got my GCSEs. In 15, I got my first job and I worked at McDonald's, and I was in my first year at college. And in FIFA 16, I got my A-levels. I was still working at McDonald's, and also I experienced going to Burnley games, and Burnley won the championship, and I was so happy to experience that. In FIFA 17, I went to uni, and I experienced going to uni, playing FIFA 17 and making videos in it. And then FIFA 18, that's where my YouTube channel blew up, and with 18, I think of Dean Martin, all the memories that had to me as well. And then 19, I moved back home to Barrowford near Burnley, and I got my own house, and then I was just playing FIFA 19 that year, streaming on twitch.tv. I don't know if I'll look back on this FIFA with really anything, because I don't remember much. The only, I guess, biggest memory I had from this FIFA is packing Want to Watch Lewandowski in the first week. As my life changed, my perception of FIFA changed with it, and as I grew up and became more mature, I feel like my connection with what I used to enjoy with FIFA grew old. And that is why I and so many others are in this constant state of nostalgia when you look back on FIFA, especially because it cannot be any more different. And I do the same when it comes to Call of Duty. When I look back on COD now, I don't see the same game. When I compare the current Modern Warfare 2 to the actual Modern Warfare 2, the fact that they are still called the same game is, number one, stupid, and number two, a discredit to the actual real enjoyable Modern Warfare 2. I didn't even buy it, I'll be honest. I didn't even buy the current Modern Warfare 2 because I knew that it was going to be dog. I'm probably not going to buy FIFA next year. I'm lying to myself. The things that made FIFA unique to your own experience, the uniqueness of exploring it in your own way and making your own team, just randomly making your own hybrid team that you've never seen before but still works, and you can go and play in game and qualify for FUT Champions, go and get a good ranking FUT Champions, or get to a good division and division rivals, and that entire feeling of the game just seems lost now. Everyone is so obsessed about the same meta, and that just dominates games now. The meta, the competitive edge, which in FIFA is now almost pointless because you get given rewards for barely even trying now. You barely even need to win half your games in FUT Champions to get the same rewards that you would get for winning 23 out of 30 games of Weekend League in previous years, which is stupid. And don't forget about Pro Clubs. I mean, Pro Clubs has been the exact same thing since FIFA 15, I think. Maybe 17, maybe even longer than that if we really are being honest. Like, if you're really being honest, if the core fundamentals of Pro Clubs, since the beginning of it, it's the exact same experience. The way how you make a player is basically the same thing. Okay, now there's no longer achievements and there's this new little funky wheel thing, but what you actually do in the game, how you play, is the same thing. It's just a Division 10 system, which has not changed for about a decade now. The cup system is the exact same for about a decade now. There's nothing else. There's no actual kind of private league you can make, or some new cups that actually make sense. None of that. It's the exact same. Career mode, they add a few more things here or there, but there's always some random bug that almost destroys it. The last time that I played it, I played against Arsenal, and they played like the B team against me in the Premier League, and I don't know why that happened, but it did. With FIFA now, we are continuously pushed to one certain direction of following the recent promos or objectives and meta, so on and so forth. So the only way that you can really experience the game the way that you used to is by just going in your own direction. Try to experience it with your own creativity almost, and maybe make your own little rules that can maybe limit but actually add some satisfaction when you actually accomplish something, because it is too easy to get the best team in the game by just playing the game on a casual level. If it's simple things like, you know, the team that you support, for example, but maybe your team is not that good to actually be competitive, like mine, like Burnley, for example. So you can do a first donor sort of thing, or maybe only focus on maybe only using one or two different nations, and when you actually pack a player, make it a pack only first donor kind of RTG, and maybe when you do pack a player from that nation or club, and it can give you that actual feeling of accomplishment of, yes, I actually made progress in this game. And it may be annoying to do so because you could just buy a player and they would be better, but I think that kind of ruins the point of it. It should be your ultimate team, your own journey. And I think with FIFA now, most people are just following the exact same route. So if you are playing FIFA, or you want to but you cannot get that same feeling of that buzz, that adrenaline, that sense of accomplishment, if you want to experience that, then maybe set your own challenges in terms of how you can maybe enjoy the game a bit more by making it feel like you are actually working towards an end. If you are like me and you're getting older and you realize that your own life gets in the way, you know, if it's from financial situations, if it's romantic situations, if it's from work life or personal life and your own education and so on and so forth, things get in the way, and games should be used as escapism, a way to escape from the real world, to give you a realm to challenge yourself, to feel like you are accomplishing something, taking 30 minutes or an hour out of your time to just think about something else and not think about whatever worries you're going through in your own personal life. That is the entire point. And if FIFA, like it is now, it feels like a job where you're continuously grinding towards something, you feel disconnected, you feel lost, because that's not what games should be about. It should be about having fun. Yeah, that is all I have to say. Thank you for listening. Somehow, big shout out to my patrons of the channel for supporting the channel. If you do want to help support, then the link is down below, and also a link down below to my design company, mazzoladesigns.co.uk. Thank you for supporting it so far. Thank you for listening, and enjoy your day.